We're the Williamsburg cheerleaders. Stay tuned for the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz.
Hardee's Friday Night Blitz is sponsored by Hardee's, Don Hudson Insurance, Muckadoos, Wicked Diesel, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm Jermaine Ferrell, hoping your day is wonderful and blessed. Welcome to the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz. Week 11 in the final week of the high school football regular season. We'll have highlights of 11 games. Teams are looking to clinch a playoff spot or improve their playoff position. We kick off the action with our game of the week.
Now, the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week, sponsored by Don Hudson Insurance.
A Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week for Week 11 takes us to Lynchburg in a battle of unbeatens. Liberty Christian hosting Jefferson Forest. LCA, they're 8-0, while JF, they are 9-0. Both teams have 6-0 perfect Seminole District marks. Now, the win here gives you the outright district champs. This is the fifth meeting with both teams getting 2 wins apiece. LCA beating JF last year in Forest 42-0. LCA has won the last 2 meetings, and JF last beat LCA. That was a 77-48 game in 2018 at Williams Stadium. JF has less than a half a point lead over Salem for the top seed in the Region 4D, and Salem getting a forfeit win over Blacksburg makes this a big game for JF. LCA has less than a 2-point lead over Turner Ashby for the top seed in Region 3C, so they're looking in good shape there. JF going for their first 10-0 season since 2015. Let's go out to the new digs. Liberty Christian Academy's new digs, and LCA doing something good here. Gideon Davidson, the Clemson Tiger, future style, getting it in. Bulldogs take a 7-0 advantage. Second quarter, JF would respond. Josiah, you can ring my bell. Carries it in for the touchdown after the push. Yes, he did get a touchdown. We're tied at 7. Then the third quarter, LCA's Jeb Moon goes to the moon, to the air. That's Dalton Nesselrote for the touchdown. The Dogs take a 14-7 lead. Later, the Bulldogs back on offense. This time it's Gideon Davidson breaking off something proper. He's got it in for the touchdown, number 8. That's 21-7 LCA, but the Dogs in the red zone again, and this time it's going to be James Dale with the quarterback keeper. It's going to be 28-7 LCA. Jefferson Forest trying to battle back in this one. Bell gets one into the zone. It was 28-14, but the Bulldogs, it was Gideon Davidson closing the scoring with the dive over the top of the pile. LCA wins their Seminole District outright to go to 9-0 with a 35-14 win over JF. Ryan Moye has Moye on this game from Lynchburg.
Well, for tonight's game of the week, Jefferson Forest taking on LCA. Both teams tied in the first half, but it wasn't until the second where Jeb Moon and the Bulldogs were able to come alive and continuously put up points thanks to him and, of course, the one and only Gideon Davidson.
We had some just misassignments, just a little bit out of position, and they were able to make those 6-yard gains instead of 2-yard gains. So we corrected some things at halftime, I think, but they're a very good team. My hat's off to them.
Yeah, I came out of my fake and I saw Dalton run up the middle of the field, and I was like, I'd have to give it to him. So I gave him a shot to make a play, and he did. Definitely us trying to figure ourselves out. We kind of started out slow, but once we figured things out, we had to play our physical game and, end up coming up with a win.
Every time somebody has scored on us over the year, we've been able to answer, And so, I'm just so proud of the guys that they have that fight to not get their heads down, and they find a way to keep battling back.
Just our camaraderie, our brotherhood. We've been together for a long time, and a lot of us have tasted, what it feels like to be deep in the playoffs, and we want to get back to that spot.
We're very blessed. I mean, we've been able to win this thing, Seminole District, 3 years in a row. We co-champs last year, but I mean, this is a grind, the Seminole District, and to be able to have done that 3 years in a row, I mean, these kids are just special.
Well, the Bulldogs come away victorious. They are undefeated on the season, and they are district champs. They hand Jefferson Forest their first loss on the season. In Lynchburg, Ryan Moye, WFXR Sports.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Staying in the Seminole battle for third, the bronze medal, EC Glass taking on Rustburg. Both teams strongly in the playoffs. Toppers have won the last 5, and you're going to see Max Calloway extending the Glass lead to 27-22. Then Rustburg's Marquavion Rosser is going to break it into the zone. That's a touchdown. Rustburg back on top, 28-27, and you get the red flag special when you do that. Meanwhile, on this play right here, it's going to be a punt, and it's blocked. And in there, Glass going to get it in there for the touchdown. And in the end, Glass comes back. They get the win over Rustburg, 43-34 on that matchup. Meanwhile, senior night over at Bogle, Hidden Valley hosting PH. PH with a win could sew up the top seed in Region 5C. There's a reason why we probably show kickoffs on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz. It's like a combo meal special. Look at this. Taquan Martin gathers the ball, is going to do a little move to the outside, and he's going to see his friends on the sideline. He's going to break it off. Young fella, you got one. BMOC, big man on campus. 90 yards later, he's at the pay window. Touchdown, PH, up 7-zip. Then Hidden Valley trying to make it happen on offense. Braden Moore is going to drop back. He's going to hook up with HC. Hayden Crowder makes some nice moves. The problem, he loses the ball, and it's going to be recovered by PH's Rod Tasco. But then sometimes you giveth, and you have to take it away. Seth Shepard's going to drop back to pass, and Israel Guerrero with some haterade for Hidden Valley gets it in there. Remember the Titans. But PH will get the ball back. Marcel Murray, M&M, melt in your mouth, not in your hand. Touchdown, 14-0 PH. The Patriots go to 9-1 with a 59-0 win over the Titans. Senior night over at Viking Stadium. Northside hosting William Byrd. The Terriers on a chilly night led Northside 14-10 at the half. But the Terriers, Israel Harrison, and getting a sack there. Vikings, Darion King. Crown him, won't you? We got him there. Meanwhile, Harrison not done. He's going to take the ball himself. He's going to run hard, breaking tackles, and he's going to make a move to the outside, and he's going to score 51 yards to the zone, fit 21-10 Bird. Later, though, the Terriers back in the red zone, and it's going to be Walter Barrows, and he's going to borrow the football and score a touchdown with this move. Look at that cut and the spin. He got it in there. Bird wins the Blue Ridge with a 35-22 win over Northside. Coming up, it is Hardee's Friday Night Blitz. With the final week of the regular season, David DeGuzman takes a trip to Moneta for a big game with playoff implications. William Fleming and Stanton River as we are in must-win mode. Stick and stay, please.
Now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Band of the Week. To the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz on WFXR.
Time to get it on.
Welcome back, good peeps, to the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz. David DeGuzman in the house like a Hardee's combo meal. You got some big stuff at the window here. A big one down in Moneta. This one had some playoff implication action.
Yeah, huge. Even though William Fleming and Stanton River are in different classes, they were both fighting for a spot in their respective postseasons tonight. The Colonels entering November sitting in 8th in Region 5C. The Golden Eagles tied for 8th with Cave Spring in Region 3D. And remember, the top 8 make the playoffs. And if you love big plays in a football game, this is the set of highlights for you. Drum roll, please. Scoreless in the first quarter, Colonels ball. Look out for Malachi Coleman. He'll disappear from view for a moment, finding a lane down the sideline and emerges seemingly out of nowhere, gets the ball into the red zone. A huge gain for William Fleming there. Minutes later, facing 4th down, Jicer Preston with the throw. K'Ron Ferguson with the immaculate grab, ruled in bounds. It keeps Fleming's drive alive, and Preston would finish it off with a touchdown on the QB keeper. 7-0 Colonels. The Golden Eagles defense trying to do everything it can to limit the damage. Joshua Kelly able to come up with a fumble recovery for Stanton River just as Fleming was knocking at the doorstep. But in the second quarter, Davion Faulkner, he's on down the road, my friend, and into the end zone. William Fleming with a 14-0 lead. The Golden Eagles trying to get on the board. Brady Barnes' deep throw. Wow, taken away by Darren McCoy, who stays on his feet, able to get all the way to about the 10-yard line. An unsportsmanlike conduct penalty would push Fleming back to around the 20. That did not stop the Colonels, though. Jicer Preston once again on the keeper. Fleming would take a 21-0 lead into the locker room, goes on to win 28-0 over Stanton River. So Fleming basically solidifying its spot in the playoffs. And as for the Golden Eagles, their playoff hopes pinned on the results of the next game you're about to see. Cave Spring against Pulaski County. And Jermaine, safe to say, Stanton River fans were rooting hard for the Cougars.
Indeed, David. I tell you what, Darren McCoy for Fleming, always making some big plays, and no, tonight's no exception. But as you mentioned, Dobson-Stamen doubling a matchup of two teams on the Region 3D playoff bubble. Cave Spring Knights entered tonight, as we mentioned, tied for 8th in Region 3D with Stanton River for that final playoff spot. The Pulaski County Cougars are 7th with nearly a 1-point lead over the Knights and the Golden Eagles. So the winner guarantees their spot in the playoffs. The loser might have to sweat it out. So we go down, speaking of Golden, how about those stairs right there at Kenneth Jobson Stadium? Big time stuff there. Cave Springs' Garrett Lonker is going to go to the air. Problem is he throws it to the wrong guy. Chase Lawrence gets the interception, sets up Trevor Gallimore for a 1-yard score. Pulaski with a 7-0 lead. To the second quarter, Cave Spring ball, 3rd and 7. The Cougar 23 is going to hook up with his buddy Owen Sweeney. He caught it in stride. We're tied at 14 there. Meanwhile, in the second quarter, however, Pulaski's Bryant Nottingham pitches it to Chase Lawrence. He's going to break to the outside, and he will not be stopped. Down the sideline, 86 yards for the touchdown. Pulaski County, they won over Cave Spring tonight. They punched their ticket to the playoffs, 27-20. With those results, Cave Spring might be on the outside looking in. Meanwhile, another game with playoff implications. Franklin County trailing Fleming by nearly a point, taking on in that Region 5C, taking on Lower Botcha, trying to hold on for 3rd in Region 3D. Franklin County going to there. Haven Mullins is going to throw it to Ryder Gardner in the end zone. That's a touchdown with the missed PAT. The Eagles go up 6-0. But Lower Botcha taking over, starting a rushing play here. How about Jakari Nicely with a touchdown, and LB goes up 7-6. After 2 Lower Botcha field goals, is 13-6. Lower Botcha, Sam Gruden's going to handle Tristan Overbay, who there to Tierra McGinnis, who takes it in for the touchdown, 20-6 LB. Lower Bottock goes on to win this one tonight, 48-13. Coming up on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz, we're first with your scores and highlights. We have our last batch of highlights, plus our latest player of the week with Ryan Moye. Stick and stay, please.
And now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz, Hardee's Fan Cam, sponsored by Hardee's. And now, back to the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz on WFXR.
Time to get it on.
We're back with more Hardee's Friday Night Blitz. Time for a trip to the Class 1 ranks with the Pioneer District title on the line. The Bath County Chargers are perfect 9-0 on the season, 3-0 in the district. They're hosting the Narrows Green Wave. They also have a 3-0 record in the Pioneer. The Chargers are second in Region 1C with a 0.2 of a point lead for second over George Wythe. Narrows leads Galax by 0.5 point for fourth in Region 1C. Narrows, they've won the last 6 meetings. Now a Chargers win, they'll have their first 10-0 regular season in 20 years when they made it to the state finals. Let's go to Hot Springs for this big-time matchup. These two teams, they know how to score points and they know how to play defense. Case Sport Narrows, a former Friday Night Blitz Player of the Week. That is going to be Collier Pruitt, touchdown, 6-0 Green Wave. But then Bath County has a guy, JC. It's James Campbell. He's going to soup his way. It's like a soup and a meal. Gets it all the way down to the 5. He's going to serve himself up because guess what on the next play? He has a reservation for 6. Hitting the Soup Bowl, touchdown. And it is a 7-6 Bath lead. But then Narrows is going to get some haterade action courtesy of Levi Smith. The jeans man running to the outside, young fella, got some room. He might have a convoy. He might go all the way, but he's going to get knocked out of bounds, and the yellow flag probably pushed it back. That would set up Aiden Tiller. He's going to run to the outside, number 7 in the program, number 1 in your heart for Narrows. They know how to score points, get it in for the touchdown, and a track move. And they take a 13-7 lead, but back comes Bath County. James Campbell, that bad man, running hard, young fella. He's all in black. And he's better than Johnny Cash. Takes it down to the 5. And speaking of cashing one in, how about James Campbell? He's going to get to the outside. That's a touchdown. Tied at 13, but Narrows would get the scoring later in the ball game, and they win this one to claim the Pioneer District, knocking Bath for the ranks of the unbeatens, 47-19. Meanwhile, over in Independence, Grayson County trying to hold on to the top spot in Region 1C and a share of the Mountain Empire District, taking on Galax. And you see right here, Eli Gillespie's going to get the ball, and he's going to do the rest. No one's going to catch him. 48 yards for Grayson County, and that's going to be a touchdown for GC. Meanwhile, 34 seconds later, however, Galax is going to show something here. And, yeah, we got to show the scoreboard. We're obliged. How about Tommy Jones? TJ is going to take the ball, get to the outside himself. He gets to score. We're tied at 7, and Grayson County, we're going to win this one tonight. And they share a district title with Galax and George Wythe by a score 28-14. Over in the dog with the Alta Vista Colonels visiting the Chatham Cavaliers. Cavaliers solidly in the playoffs in Region 2C, while the Colonels are grilling up. Wherever George Noliff goes, he finds food. I like those crinkle-cut fries. And meanwhile, how about a little haterade? Cavaliers' John Cole reads this one perfectly, jumps the route, takes it to the house. The Cavaliers take a 7-0 lead, and the cheerleaders for the Alta Vista team, or rather, the Chatham team, they were fired up. Meanwhile, Alta Vista, the other team on the field, is going to do some Jordan Pippen. Yeah, those are Chicago Bulls names. He does it himself, 28-yard score, and they get the point there. Meanwhile, Chatham, they would roar back here. How about Amare? Word on the street. He's going to break off something to the outside. He's running closer and closer and closer to the house. And look at the cut. The bigger the cut, the bigger the rhyme. Touchdown. Good blocking there. And Xander Cornell helped them there. The Cavaliers went up 34-8, but they would have to hold on to beat Alta Vista tonight, 34-28. Our final highlight reel takes us to Bragg Stadium. And this young lady, if you watched American Idol in the past, she was a contestant, Shay Wynn, singing the national anthem. Meanwhile, the Raiders' Delonte Kelso running hard, and he gets one into the house, 7-0 Appomattox. And yeah, there's a cannon firing, and the girls with the flag waving around, like they did in Martinsville last week. How about this? Daniel Bradley. Mr. Bradley, if you're nasty. Run outside. He got one. Touchdown. Appomattox, 14-0 lead. And then Bradley, we love you so nice. And there's that flag again. So nice, Mr. Bradley. Why don't you do it twice in the first half? Young fella running hard. He's going to break it off, and he's going to make some more cuts. That looks like Xbox action. That's like the square, the triangle, all that. Anyway, Appomattox wins 57-18 over Dan River.
Now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Player of the Week, sponsored by Wicked Diesel.
Well, this week's athlete can beat you in so many different ways. Not only did he throw for over 190 yards and was 6 for 6 for 2 scores, he also got the job done on the ground, running it in for 3 touchdowns as well in his team's 42-7 win over Amherst County last Friday. And guess what? He's your player of the week.
Josiah Bell, quarterback, Jefferson Forest High School. We're just trying to stay true to our identity and pounding the football up the middle with our huge linemen. I mean, all the credit goes to them. I mean, they're everything. They're the heart and soul of our team. Starts with Brighton Witt and goes out to Logan, Tyrese, Caden, and T-Man, they're great. They make it so much easier. I'm opening up bigger holes for me to run through, just finishing plays where I'm still up and they're pushing behind me. Just great people. When we started in January, all the liftings, all the stuff in the summer and the spring, just putting in the work and grinding, just trusting our coaches. Yeah, I think every week we're just building on each other and getting progressively better every week, just trusting each other and playing for each other.
What does it mean when you put that jersey on?
Oh man, something special wearing the red and black. I feel honored to.
What has the journey been like for Josiah Bell?
There's definitely been some up and downs. My sophomore year, first year in varsity, we went 1-8. Last year, 4-7. Those 2 years, kind of a disappointment. And this year, it's going good so far. What does Coach Cruz mean to you? He's a great coach. He believed in me and he started me my sophomore year. So he's a great coach. I think we have the best coaching staff in the Seminole, if not state. Got a lot of knowledge all around. I think we have the best student section in the state. They come out and support us. Even going back to the 1-8 season, they were supporting us the whole way, and all the fans in the stands, it's just great to feel that support behind us. With only winning 5 games in the past 2 years, definitely a big chip on our shoulder moving forward in this season. We knew it was going to be a big one for us. I think we're proving some people wrong and just doing what we expected to do. It's awesome. My last year being 9-0 right now, hopefully making a deep run in the playoffs, and just I'll miss it when I'm gone, definitely, playing with my brothers.
And now, the Macadit Play of the Night. Sponsored by McAdoo's.
Our Macadit Play of the Night comes from Patrick Henry Sr. Taquan Martin. On the opening kickoff against Hidden Valley, he had to gather the ball. And once he gathered the ball, he did some work down the sideline in front of his PH friends. Takes it all the way. That's 90 yards. Taquan Martin with this nice play. He gets the Macadit Play of the Night.
And now, it's Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Unsung Hero, celebrating those who keep the game moving. Sponsored by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Our unsung hero is Tasia Mann of the U.S. Air Force. Last week during the SWVA Conference Playoffs in Lynchburg, Mann came home from an 8-month deployment, and you'll see here in a few seconds, she's going to come in and surprise her son right then and there. Yep, there it is. And that does it for this edition of the Hardee's Friday Blitz. See you next week.